Besiktas has just shook up world football, and especially United fans, by hiring Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The baby-faced assassin is finally back in management since he did get sacked from United many moons ago now, and since then he was out of work. But now he's travelling to Turkey to take over the struggling club sitting 6th in the Super Lig, which is dreadful as he's got to get Besiktas firing again and into the Champions League, winning the entire thing. As yes guys, yes please forgive me for this terrible impression of making him. I know it doesn't look a thing like Solskjaer, doesn't have a face scan I can find, and also I tried to make an effort. I've got the, kind of man-eagle on my top to represent Besiktas, as this is the team. How is this struggling? We have got some very good players, and the more and more I look at this team, we've got Al Mustrati, who's a brilliant One Nation man. Jedson Fernandes of his Tottenham days, that's probably forgot about now. Rafa, brilliant in Liga NOS, and then Immobile. As out on the left-hand side, the wonder kid Kilishkoy. Also Englishman Oxlade-Chamberlain, as again I must state in this video, if I do sound rough, my voice is gone at the moment. But still, I'm never giving up on these videos to deliver to you guys, as 20 million euros, that is the amount of money we've got to spend here in Turkey, and I haven't gone with the live points. They are broken on my console. Trying to get to the end of it and fix it, as the first thing we've got to do is fix this formation. Oh no, we don't. It's actually correct. What am I talking about? The 4-2-3-1 is Ole's formation according to Transfermarkt. But now we've got to play this, but we've also got an important challenge. And the rule is, if we beat Jose, we can buy from the Prem. Apart from that, we can't touch the English leagues. Making this difficult, as actually I spoke too soon, there is another challenge. 6 Turkish players in the starting 11 at all times. As there's 2 currently in it, we've got Gunok and Kilishkoy. And then on the bench, we've got 5. So we're definitely clear of failure. We've got Destankoglu on here, who looks a brilliant up-and-comer. And then Hekimoglu, absolutely brilliant as well. Fair to say I'm a big fan of this team. We've just got to get some position changes going, like Oxlade-Chamberlain to a cam, see if he can revive his career. Jedson Fernandes to a DM, because he's not clearly there yet. And this guy, Cherton Door, he's going to be a cam as well. But the most controversial move, this man, Semmi Kilishkoy. Yes, he is on the left-hand side of midfield, but I want to change him to a striker. Although then we have this man, Hekimoglu, good players. I'm going to struggle to fit them all in. This team on paper is good, but still, it could be better, as I've identified my positions needed. Arthur Masuaku is 30-year-old at left-back, and also, despite being from Norway like Ole, 31-year-old. Svensson needs changing. And as I said, Prem off limits, I don't really want to still sign in Turkey. So let's do a little bit of a swap. Let's go to the Bundesliga. That's a good league. To maybe find someone to bring over to Turkey, because Germany and Turkey have a bit of a link. There is Derek Cohn, but he was actually on loan from Galatasaray as Luca Netz. Wow, he looks good. Only 21-year-old still. I'll take him on from a struggling Mönchengladbach. A good sign-in. And I gave him an important role, so he should start at left-back still. As then just right-back needed, and of course, still can't touch that Premier League. Really hope we can beat Jose, because I have so many Premier League ideas to help this team, but for now, we're having to check different nations. As Devin Wrench, I think he fell off a little bit at Ajax. But in order to get him in, we do actually need to sell a player to pay for all his wages, as I'm selling our first team goalkeeper. As I trust the youngster we have, Hekimoglu is his name, and I trust Wrench to be a superstar right-back addition. And you might be thinking, Max, why only one goalkeeper in Destankoglu? That's his name. He's 24 and he's risen a lot, you know, in rating, and that was 1 point to get him increasing. But the bench, we've put more Turkish players on there instead of signing a non-Turkish keeper to fulfill our objectives, and still we managed to sneak a lot of bad Turkish players to loan out a few good ones like Kilishkoy to Como. He looks absolutely brilliant. Still want him to be our striker. Tiknaz looks good. Terzri looks pretty similar to Nets when we first signed him, so he could maybe do something. We've got Yilmaz, who was on loan at the start before we got here, doing pretty well, and they're all Turkish players. As the players at the club, we changed the position of Gedson Fernandes, and he got 15 goals from a deeper shape. Immobile, slightly slowing down, I must say, but Rafa, 86, and he's still 32. He's still got it, as in the league. That is better than 6th, but it is 2nd in the Turkish Super Lig behind Galatasaray, who of course do have Victor Osimhen. As in the Turkey Kupası though, we go ahead and beat them for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to get his first trophy in his first season. That is a huge achievement. However, a little bit unlucky. We didn't run into Fenerbahce to beat Jose Mourinho to get, one more signing from the Prem. But hopefully we do beat them in the league. We've still got that to check after the Europa League, which we did start in, finishing above Fenerbahce, Galatasaray and United, where Ole got sacked. As then we beat Dynamo Kiev after a hectic 4-4 aggregate draw, but then lost to Bilbao 5-3, who I believe they beat in real life. Besiktas, that is, as where's the results? Against Fenerbahce, a 1-1 draw in April, so no, we don't get a signing from the Prem there. Unlucky, but then in October, we did beat Jose 2-0, meaning that result unlocks us one player to sign from the Prem. And of course we'll need the money, but I know exactly where we need to sign. Udakai's loan runs out. Paulista is 34. We need to go to the Premier League for a centre-back. But before that, if you guys can give us luck in finding one by hitting the like and subscribe button, means the world to me, especially in times like this, where I'm struggling. But Besiktas are not struggling because we've got 32 million euros. And like I said, can get that Premier League player, but I've got a decision to make. Kosh Kilishkoy, I'm not deciding to sell him. Do not worry at all. But do we go with him for a striker? Because we've got another Turkish striker on the way. And we did just lose João Mario, so he could go to the left-hand side. And Hekimoglu, wherever he is, because I don't see him in that striker range. Is he still out on loan or something? Because he was my plan for the striker position. As great. He's been speaking to Caglioglu, the left back at Brighton, and they have gone ahead and signed our wonder kid, brilliantly leaving us without a striker after Immobile, who is 35-year-old. Rafa is 32. Not good movement at all. But yes, I'm going to stick with it. We do need another centre-back, or another 2, then a striker. And we do have a signing from the Prem. We did finish above United in the Europa League phase. So I think you know which club I'm going to opt into. Signing from as United. Have they got a good centre-back? Lenny Yoro could be an option. I don't think he's fitting just yet at United, but too expensive. We've only got 32 million. Lindelof looks affordable, but still, he's 30-year-old. Youngsters are what we need. Maybe we do check the striking position. And who's this guy? Igor Matanovic looks decent. Must have just signed for United. Maybe did sign last season. Maybe doesn't get played because he's 22 and he's still under 75. So I'm going to save him from the theatre of nightmares at the moment in real life. As for now, he'll sit on the bench, which is absolutely full of Turkish players, which is good because we need as many as we can to fit in the first team, but we do need another keeper after we go for the centre-backs, because that is a bit of a priority, and I'm just going to change things up a little, looking for a Norwegian centre-back, cause it fits in with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Leo Østigård isn't the best. He's 25, 74 rated, but this guy had potential, man, and I think he can still get to that. So I'm going to take him on the cheap, as the contract was expiring on him, and he's played in England before. He had high hopes at Napoli, so hopefully just improves us, as it's a Turkish player out the team, because we did have a Turkish centre-back in Sanuk, who can be out on loan, amongst a lot of other Turkish talent, because I'm going to do a lot of loaning, and I'm going to do another steal from Rennes for Dogan Almadar, a Turkish goalkeeper, 22-year-old still, and he can sit on the bench behind, well, this is a different position, but the centre-back Miete coming in to save us. There he is, one of our new signings, but now I'm looking at this. I think I must have questioned Ostigard more than Miete. And I'm the wrong way round on it, because Ostigard does look a lot better. This team looks a lot better. Really, really like the look of this. With our highest rated player, and don't ask me how or why, Rafa 89. Ole Gunnar, what you cooking? With that man, of course, he brought Ronaldo back to Manchester United. He brought in Bruno, so maybe the Norwegian just likes cams from Portugal. As Matanovic, the signing he made from United, doing pretty well. Milot Rajishka from, I think he was at Norwich City. Gonna do my research in a second to look at that, as Kilishkoy still not changed position, but an 81 rating. Tesri now a 73, so he's cooking with gas. And also Tignaz, some good up-and-coming Turkish players who, of course, can sit on the bench to make them numbers up. And I absolutely hate it when the game does this. Blackout on the trophies, meaning we lost one. EA, if you're listening somehow, please just fix your goddamn game. You don't see Ultimate Team broke at all, as we did lose in the cup final to Godsepe, is it pronounced? And I do see a result against Fenerbahce, 2-2 draw, meaning we can't sign from the Premier League there. But then we did beat them in the Cup, 3-2, get in there, so that's one Prem signing. As we still should have played them again. And I believe we didn't get through in the Europa League. A lot of defeats, as you can see, FCSB, West Ham United, and I skipped past it, but we did get 2 wins over Fenerbahce, with a 4-2 over Jose there, meaning it's 2 Premier League allowed. And we'll look at positions momentarily, as one thing I've never focused on is the academy today. I just thought we had enough youngsters as it is, so I just wanted to, you know, say my piece on that, as the piece on the budget of 39 million euros is it's okay. It's not amazing. As what is amazing, though, is I believe last season we won the league, because we have been put in the Champions League with the expectation not to win it. That is very new for me. Usually it's always to win the competition. As we make one switch, Matanovic, we've got Rafa supporting him. Could we make a cause for, you know, that quarter-final? Because I like our team. I think signing-wise, I'm sorry to say, but Miete is looking a huge mistake from me. Still, it's a very good bench centre-back. But now we can go to the Premier League. I don't think I'm going to look back at him ever. As speaking of looking back, there is another player I might look back upon, as I'm looking back at our bench as well, because we've got a lot of Turkish players. I'll make a swap here again as well to put Tikan on there, or Tiknaz to make the Turkish affiliate just strike up. As Immobile needs striking out, we definitely could do with another player there, and maybe another CDM who might not be Turkish, just to strengthen us from the bench. As to be fair, we might save money on a new right midfielder for the bench as well, because Muki can play on the wing, or wide mid, as speaking of wide mid, Kilishkoy is never going to be it, so maybe we just do trial him as a striker. And I know we do have a good one at the club in Matanovic, as I also thought about bringing this man back to the side, Hekimoglu, but now I don't really see why we need him. If Kilishkoy will go up front, as I'm going to look for the left mid, going to search in the Premier League, maybe could search United. As look who's here, Rashford. Now he's not even as good as Kilishkoy, but a player that is a lot better, unfortunately not available, but Jadon Sancho, who was brought in by Ole in the first place, as our money's a trouble, trying to afford a very good player. But there is Thiago Fernandez, and I have no idea how we've actually done it. He joins Besiktas, joins Ole over in Turkey to hopefully go and win the Champions League with him. As I've got huge faith in this man, moves Kilishkoy into the striking position, as now the rest of the team is pretty much good. We've got some 30-plus-year-olds, but our focus is on centre-backs still. As I almost run out of breath even saying that, but could we do with a little more money? Because 13 million euros, man, we're not going to get anybody any better or Champions League better, as now, what do we do here? Maybe sell this guy? I'm never going to say his name, that's why I'm not even going to play him. And you know what, out of curiosity, because his contract is almost up, I'm going to put Rafa onto the transfer list to just see the money we can get. I know Ole loves his Portuguese, but still, we could do a lot younger and a lot better potential-wise. But Rafa at an 88 rating, 76.5 million from Porto is good, but I kind of expected more. And they are a rival of the channel. So I've gone and denied it. Yes, Porto just seem to always beat us. So they're not beating us to our best player, as Jen Onana's gone out the club. And also Ciro Immobile, because he was down to the third choice striker. Gone to the rivals Fenerbahce. And then this long named guy, Amir, I'm just going to call him, goes to Saudi Arabia, giving us 32 million now. That is a lot more refreshing. Back to the Premier League we go, because we do still have one signing from there. And yes, the Premier League, because I want to go back to United to squeeze out the signing of the player that's not really working there, Lenny Yoro, to partner Ostigard. Here he is, the main man we needed. Lenny Yoro in that midfield as this team. Overall, brilliant. We've got Kilishkoik starting. Changed his position to a striker. We've got still a very good option on the bench in Matanovic. 83 rated, the Croat. Surprised he's even gone and reached that, as now our highest rated at the club isn't the 34-year-old, it's the 28-old Fernandez. Brilliant from our Portuguese, and I wondered how we had two good strikers, because Matanovic has probably played more. Judging off the list, he definitely has, and scored 31 goals with Rijeka. 30-year-old now, but I love the Bosnian. Or is that Kosovo? I haven't got my phone on me to actually Google it this time round, as Rafa done brilliantly and Jedson just keeps scoring. No wonder his rating keeps on growing, as this is how the league's gone. We've been dusted by Galatasaray and Fenerbahce on top, meaning they probably have beaten us. Bit of a fall-off season, but we were in the Champions League. And have we grabbed that quarter-final? As hang on a minute though, when I'm checking through the Champions League, I cannot find us anywhere. I'm guessing we just had to qualify in the knockout rounds, but at least not winning in the knockout rounds of the qualification puts us into the Europa League again. Because we've got a really solid squad. We should not be in the playoffs, which we do win 4-1 over AZ Alkmaar. Still, I want more from us. As then in the next round, oh my days, it's Robbie Keane's team. The one I can't really pronounce yet. 5-3 against us. That is extremely disappointing, and just look at them horrific statistics. Not won the cup, not reached the quarters, and not won the league title. A failure, if you ask me. Actually, not had one of those so far this save. Ole has had failure in the past. And where do we improve the future here? Ostigard is one of the lowest rated, and of course in a weakish defence, but Rijeka, I just praised him. Now he's turned 31 years old. So maybe he could be out the team this year, as £34 million for third place. I think the board's actually been quite nice to us here. And you might have noticed, I didn't literally look at Fenerbahce last season in terms of them beating us, because I want to just stay away from the Premier League. Just for one season, we might have earned it, but I don't want to go there. I want to go to La Liga, explore other options, see if there's a right-hand midfielder here who could be very good for us. Eren looks very good. Of course, is a Turkish player. Ben Doak at Real Madrid. What a move the Scotsman's got. Anthony Elanga as well. Just a little bit outside of our budget though. In fact, both of these are, because you can see 81 and 82 rated. I might trust Rijeka for now and look for an alternative option. Someone not actually in a position that fits the team, but does know Ole. A Norwegian link again for Oscar Bob at VfL Wolfsburg, meaning City must have kicked him out of Manchester very early on in this save, so yeah, maybe that's lost his potential. We could potentially recover, as he's on the bench just for now, but don't you worry, you guys, at all. He hasn't replaced a Turkish player, and overall, I believe there's 6 in the first team. Our first team squad, there's 2 in the first team, Kilişkoy and Destankoglu, as Oscar Bob's going to move to a right-hand sided player, and I know it's not improved as drastically after saying we need drastic improvement, but I've got another idea for that. As yes, we are playing all his shape, but I haven't messed with tactics, and I just listened to an interview of him after Besiktas' last victory, where he said he likes to play quick stuff, so we're going to go aggressive with short passing. And now for some of the player roles. Now Kilişkoy can be a poacher because he's scoring goals, and that's the shape we're actually going to go for. I love my wing backs, holders, and that is a lot more attacking. And it looks like it's benefited the team overall, but not certain players like Kilişkoy, the striker, 22-year-old, but not getting played. Really benefited Fernandes on that wing. Also Lenny Euro, the goalkeeper, and Matanovic. Wow. He's going to have to go first team. Sorry to Semi, and also sorry to Turkey, because that is a Turkey wonder kid. Again, not working out here, as Oscar Bob already in 84. He just needed a revival. Wolfsburg stunted his career. As we look to be back up and running, we should be very much high up in the league with this bunch of players. Lenny Euro, still only 22-year-old. Brilliant fact is that, and I know he wasn't brought into United by Solskjaer, but he's been brought into Besiktas, same with Matanovic. 36 goals. He just loves to keep on scoring, and finally our time has come because we've won the Super League. So that is Champions League football. Of course, we may have won it before, but I'm not counting it because the calendar froze. Or the standings froze. We couldn't see the trophies, but we can see this one. Beating Galatasaray 2-0 to get our second Kupası, and beating Fenerbahce. So that is a Prem signing if we need it. We did only beat them once though, not twice. We drew with them in one leg. May have beaten them in the league, as we didn't face them in the league phase. Finishing 4th, but then straight away in the round of 16 against the team we should beat. Sparta Praha, we get beat ourselves 4-2. Very disappointed, but it's a double in Turkey, and now a qualifying game to go into the Champions League, or a few qualifying games, as we beat Fenerbahce 3-1, but then lost to them 1-0. Okay, so we can still get 2 signings from the Premier League if we need them, but hopefully it's the budget that's bigger. As I am waiting to scroll over, heading into this brand new season, and 44. Oh, it's the highest I think we've ever got. But is it really enough to shape this team, man? Rafa probably needs replacing. Al Mastrati the same. If we don't go for the Champions League, which we probably could do, you know, because the ratings, we've got a few 90s, or a few on the verge of 90. Destankoglu is another one right there. And a decent bench with a lot of Turkish players on it. We can get rid of Mukela or Muleka for Keles. 77 rated, this man. Been on loan a few times, and Topku can put him onto that bench, as the bench looks solid. So don't even need to get a bench player. Literally can fully focus on the first team, and I think sad times ahead for Rafa, who, in the words of the AFTV guy, has to go blood, has to go blood. Transfer listed 35, not gonna do anything significant. Famous last words, hopefully doesn't come back to bite us, as we got an offer lower than that for him last year when he was younger from Porto. Accepted, and then Porto go ahead and put a bid in for Nets. Dropping almost 200 million on a left back is crazy work. But what's even crazier is I'm actually gonna reject it, as out goes Rafa. Huge money from Leeds going to the ex-United player. I don't think Leeds United fans will be happy. Maybe with the player they've just got, as 113 million now. And first things first, got to replace him, as I think I know what I'm doing. Cam, Norwegian. It is piecing together for Martin Odegaard, who I didn't realise is actually a centre mid, not a cam. But if we could buy him from Real Madrid, change him over to his desired position, I think we have a huge player to buy as... too important to Madrid. That is actually heartbreaking. Oh, it would have been so good. A link up with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As now we're on the lookout for something else. Giacomo Raspadori. Don't want him. So I guess we have got a Premier League slot. Or actually 2 available, as this could be a decent option. Bilal El Kanous, a very good player, and I have another one in mind in a different position. But first, let's start off slowly. Good stuff. Good stuff. One of the shining lights from Leicester City season comes to join us in the centre, but there is another player out there that caught my eye when I did just take a look around the other countries, as he's just moved to Man City. He's just got more expensive, which you just know he'll be worth more, as I'm going to an old friend of this FIFA, Roger Fernandez. I absolutely love, and with me being the wheeler dealer I am, of course I've got his contract sorted. I was never going to miss this man. He's literally my favourite this FIFA. Yes, he doesn't start. He's on the bench, the 23-year-old, but I've always got to have him. He didn't work out in my Man United save, hasn't worked out fully under Ole Gunnar, but gonna get a chance in the team if these 2 players stop growing on the wings, but no chance really of that. There's 390 rated there. Fernandez, Matanovic, and Destankoglu, and then Nets, Yoro, and Wrench. 389 defenders here. In fact, we're a lot stronger than I first thought we were. Destankoglu, now 28. Bruno Fernandes. They're all doing well, and he's not Bruno. Called him by the wrong name there, and he does need a contract, does Jedson, as this is the team. We've got Thiago Fernandez scoring 44. Wasn't really a goal scorer as well, as Roger Fernandez was brought in to maybe replace him. Matanovic, 37 goals. And Jedson, 23. He's been transformed under Ole Gunnar, as there we go in the league as well. We pick up another Turkish title, taking it to 2, potentially 3. Of course, we are not decided on that just yet. And we aren't really decided on what we're going to do in the Champions League, because we did make it to the league phase. We have actually squeezed it through, with City down there in 20th, just below us. And then we go through again, beating Bilbao 6-2, the team that stopped us in Europe before. And then Paris 1-0. Besiktas beating Paris Saint-Germain. Ole has done that before with Manchester United, if you remember that comeback. And then we beat Dortmund 2-0 in one leg only, after a 0-0, and then 7-3 or 7-5 over Real Madrid and City. City finished 1 place below us in the league phase, but us and Manchester City will face off in the Champions League finale as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goes Manchester again, or he might not be going back, because of course it will be a neutral venue, hopefully not somewhere in England, as then we've got the cup final still to play, hence why I didn't show you that at the start. As suspension wise, nobody out for this one, and we play Oscar Bob's ex-team. As here we go, and what did I say? I didn't want an English advantage, and we're at Wembley, so great. We've got to dig deep here. Ole back in England, but Manchester City, I believe a fact I saw was that they've been to, like, Wembley 17 or 18 times. Maybe off with the number, but a lot for finals, such as the FA Cup. And then the Community Shield again, as no, we needed to get round him. We need to start strong, as now Jedson Fernandez steals the ball off the last defender. Flick that over the head right there. Please run onto it. Get past your man. We've got to get going, as these as well do have Noosa, like I said. And then it says player to watch at the top. And Haaland will be up front for the Citizens. So far, though, they've not got the ball. As Wrench, if we hit the edge of the box, there is a man there in nets. Now into El Kanous to shoot through bodies. And I don't believe it. The referee has given us a spot kick. It is Kabore. I need to have another look at this. Has it hit an hand? All my days. Right, I don't think it actually did there. I could do the modest thing, and I could purposefully miss the spot kick, but I'm not going to be doing that anyway. I don't believe it. I didn't even mean to miss that. Unbelievable, but still now, we've got to fight because City take a shot. Granted a poor one, but we cannot let that happen. Come on. We've got to keep confident as we pass it into Haaland. Ali Mastrati, though, with a very good tackle. On to Oscar Bob, threading a ball through onto Matanovic, who goes out wide. Matanovic is a giant. Never paid attention to that on the stats. It falls to Thiago Fernandez. That's another penalty, surely. Terrible from Rodri. Goes into the book. As what was that tackle? Hands behind the back, but just lunges in. That is terrible from the world's best player. As do we give Thiago Fernandez a second chance? I think I will. Go to the other top corner, and he does. It is 1-0, and the youngster gets his goal. What is it, his 42nd of the season, I believe? Or maybe he got more than that, but still, we've got to pay attention. Because City will try and wake up, and it's almost half-time here. We've got very lucky with the 2 penalties, unlucky with one, and very lucky with the other. Blessing in disguise has now Nusa. The second half will try and be City's. He shoots and hits the post behind the net. I think he should have done a lot better there. A real chance for a lead as now El Canoes. If he can try and get a run on. Come on, someone try and support him here. There's a ball over the top into Luca Nets. Can he work with Thiago Fernandez, or could he cross it straight in? He's a very tall left back as well, isn't he? Or can he shoot himself? He goes for it, you know. No issue with that from time to time, but still, time is ticking and we need another goal here. As Thiago Fernandez has found his way through, Kabore on his back, and they just recover. As I can't help but think City are just getting stronger defensively and we're getting weaker. As now it's the last chance. Østegård is rounded. Manchester City take on a shot. Destan Koglu, I thank you. A wonderful save as old Erling Haaland's dropping off there in the middle. And I actually don't believe it. I actually don't believe it. A Norwegian scores for Manchester City. They were just getting closer and closer. Lenny Euro missed it. And he has the playstyle plus to just curve it round our man. And now we must attack City very soon. Don't want to go into extra time if we can avoid it, because we have had a few shots pass there into Matanovic. If there is a ball across the box, which there isn't, it falls back to him. It is 2-1 in the last minute. I can actually not breathe. A big drink of water here, as I have no idea how the defender actually didn't pick up on the second ball. And we've done it. After thinking we were sunk, I tell you what, if I could scream, I'd be screaming my head off. That is one of the best wins in a while. Champions League title with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Besiktas, with Jedson Fernandez keen to lift the trophy. Number 83. Fantastic growth from the player. He is not done in Turkey, and the Turkish league, very intriguing. If you want to see another rebuild here, you've got to comment down below and leave a like. The views and you guys by telling me in comments, tell me a team or a league is popular. So yes, if you do want to see it again, please do make sure to support it, as if you do want to support me further, click on screen for another rebuild.